Hey, my name is Dennis. I'm the founder of Mobile Mentor. Over the last 16 years, we've worked with many organizations to help secure and support their mobile devices, smartphones, tablets, and laptops. We've learned that balancing security and employee experience is a challenge for almost every organization on the planet. Too much security compromises productivity. Too little security can compromise the entire business. So we use this framework to help clients understand exactly where they are today and to build a roadmap to a more secure future state. On the vertical, we have endpoint security, and on the horizontal, we have employee experience. And we generally advocate moving up the quadrant in a diagonal direction, roughly 45 degrees, maybe with a slight bias towards security, but not too much. And we generally want to stay out of the top left quadrant. We see this happen when enthusiastic security teams deploy many layers of security policies and security controls in a short time frame without enough communication and change management. And what happens next is that resourceful employees find ways to work around these security restrictions. And they may start using unsanctioned storage media or unapproved cloud storage tools or collaboration tools. This requires the security team to then apply even more restrictions and more controls. And so we get into a situation where there's tension between security and the end users. We also want to stay out of the bottom right quadrant. And we see this happen when organizations deploy applications and services too quickly and without enough security. A good example is organizations deploying Microsoft 365 in a hurry. And they may be asking their employees to download Outlook or Teams from a public app store onto an unmanaged mobile device that's potentially owned by the employee. So now company data is being accessed on an unmanaged device. That device may or may not be secure, it may or may not be patched, it could even be compromised and the employer wouldn't know about it. We generally recommend moving up the maturity matrix at the 45-degree diagonal. And this requires really good user education around the importance of information security. And it also requires a really good respect for the employees who choose to use their personal devices at work and their privacy on those devices. So that conversation between security and employees around the security of company data and the privacy of the employee's use of that device, that's really important, and that needs careful consideration, because if it goes wrong, it's going to result in an emotional response from employees and potentially even a loss of trust. The top right quadrant is the destination. It's where we all want to be. And that requires that we have this balanced approach to security and user experience, and also that we have good change management, so we take our employees on the journey. But having good security internally for our own employees is not enough. And that's because in today's world, most organizations need to collaborate, either with customers or suppliers or industry bodies. Data needs to be shared both ways in many organizations. So if you think about the processes you use, for example, to provide guest access to some of your resources, to onboard contractors or temporary staff, to share data externally, or to ingest and receive data from other organizations, those processes are a really good determinant and measure of how mature your security practices and processes really are. And if those processes are clunky and painful for your employees, guess what? They're going to be motivated to find ways to work around the restrictions. Security is a never-ending journey. We are way past the era when you could set and forget a few firewall rules and email filters. Most of our security tool sets are cloud-based and they're integrated, and they're all changing at a phenomenal pace. So we're making decisions almost daily on policies and configurations that impact our security posture and the employee experience. I hope this framework is useful in thinking through the decisions you make to make sure you have secure devices, secure data, and still deliver a fantastic employee experience.